we have essentially three categories. This banner here you see, that gets injected into every mail, and every mail gets a gray or a yellow and a red. And then we also put below here, report this mail, so the user, without going to a toolbar, even if they're on Apple Mail, they can just click that link and they can say, I think it's safe, I think it's spam, I think it's phishing. And there's a whole bunch of stuff they can do downstream from that. So we're getting information to the user here, and we're soliciting information back from them if they want to provide feedback. And most mails get this gray banner, and you can see it shows the email address that actually sent the mail. And the reason we do that is because often on mobile,
right,
the designers in their infinite wisdom think email addresses are ugly, so they hide them. So you can see an email on your phone that says from USAA or from Microsoft. And if you actually look at the email address, it's some gibberish, right? So that by itself is an affordance for the user, right? So if this says it's Microsoft in the from line, but obviously here it's gibberish, the user's going to know, well, it's probably not Microsoft, right? Now, we would flag that anyway, but point is, useful to show them the underlying email address. The yellow is, and you talked about account takeover, and this is incredibly important for people to understand. When we see a mail impersonating a brand, we can almost always prove, cryptographically prove, that it either is or isn't from that brand. Because there's something called DKIM, where the big senders of mail digitally sign their mail on the way out. So we can say, hey, this is provably from this Microsoft mail server. We know it's legit. It's really Microsoft. In contrast, if we get a mail that appears to be from Microsoft, from some rando server, well, that ain't legitimate, right? We can prove it. Now, but in the case of mail from people, there's no equivalent to that digital signature, at least outside of military and DoD. Nobody digitally signs their personal mail, corporate mail. So we're often left with this heuristic where, hey, this sure doesn't look like mail from Gabby. Like, he never writes this way. It's using this weird Linux mail client. It's sent from Kazakhstan. All of that suggests it's not really from you. It doesn't prove that it's not from you, though. And there are many cases like this where enforcing a binary decision, the black box solution, is really bad, because either you're going to deliver stuff that's bad silently, in which case you get breached, or you're going to err on the side of caution and too much stuff goes to the quarantine. So this middle category is really, really important. We also address the problem of banner blindness here. We track the percentage of mails that we put these yellows on per customer and per team, so we can manage that to within 10, 15% and not go above that, because we've empirically measured that's where people start to get blind to the banners. If you're showing it on a third of mails, people become blind to it. The other thing that we found is really important is what you say here cannot be cybersecurity mumbo jumbo.
Right.
Like, it has to be something that the end user will understand. And so we've put a lot of effort into expanding this to have, like I said, 75, maybe more now, different things that are tailored to the content of the mail, and also to say them in ways that make some sense to the end user. So the end user feels, oh, this thing is giving me useful information. I shouldn't ignore it. And the bottom line is, the yellow, at the end of the day, just makes people slow down. If we make them slow down and think about what they're doing, that's like 90% of the battle right there.
Exactly. Go ahead.
So this is our equivalent of send to quarantine, right? Red banner. Most customers, users will never see these. They're useful for the admins to look at, behind the scenes for a quarantine mail. So we put the red on here. Red can have lots of different things, and it could be cryptocurrency scam. It could be like prize survey scam, phone scam, advanced fee scam, the Nigerian prince thing. These will all just go straight to quarantine unless the customer's configured it otherwise. Some customers, they want to see everything and they'll just disable everything in the mail. I would say the vast majority of our customers, this is just sent straight to quarantine. The user never interacts with the mail. And we run all pre-delivery, so we see the mail before it gets delivered to the inbox, unlike most of our competitors. So we can prevent users from ever interacting with stuff like this.